Hello everybody, welcome to my review of Benighted by J.B. Priestley. This is a Valacourt Books reissue. I decided to read this because I was in the mood for a haunted house story and it looked creepy, and so I decided I would go ahead and read this one. Next, after this, we're going to go back to Paperbacks from Hell, and this will be the next book I'll review is The Nest. But for right now, we're talking about Benighted. This is a very well-written book, and since it's from 1927, it's interesting to see some of the references that are mentioned in this, like when they talk about World War I or when they talk about film. It's just interesting to get a point of view from a writer that was there in the time this was happening, somebody who lived through it. It's always cool when when you pick up a book and it's set in this sort of period in the 20s, but it's always cooler when the book is actually from that time and the writer was there and he got to experience it. And just when people talk about those things, I think it makes the book a lot richer. So that was really cool right off the bat. That's what intrigued me, because pretty early on they reference World War I, and they mention people that died in it, and they talk about film and stuff. So it's just cool, just to see sort of people's point of view from back then on the new film industry, because it was pretty new in 1927. I think it was only in the 1890s that film started, and so that's pretty cool. This book has excellent character development, but spends slightly too much time on this. Like, they start playing a game of truth, which is just truth or dare, but without the dare. And, like, you get some pretty long, like, responses from people where it's like a page and a half is just one long paragraph. And then I don't know if, like, the writer caught on that he was rambling, but then some of the characters would say, "Oh, sorry to ramble." So I don't know if that was actually the characters or if that was the writer, because they say that at least twice. They're like, "Oh, I didn't mean to ramble." There's really a lot of rambling scenes in this, and that's like the only downside. I love the setting. I love the descriptions. There's some pretty creepy descriptions in here that I love. But there's just like, and while the character development is good, I just feel it spends a little too much time on it, to where like I'm halfway through and I forgot this is supposed to be a haunted house thing. I mean, there's definitely creepy descriptions, but it's like so little that it wasn't so much on the house. Like the house sort of didn't become the main focus until the very end, because there's most of the action really happens in the last 30 pages. I read the last like 40 pages of this book right before recording this, and it's really in the last 30 pages that you get a lot of the action, a lot of what you've been waiting for, sort of a thing. And yeah, that was pretty cool to finally get to it. I just wish there would have been like some more spooky occurrences during the course of the book when there really weren't many. Because there are cool descriptions when it's like, yes, the house was creepy and this is why. And I was like, oh, heck yeah, heck yeah. Now let's have something weird happen, And then it's just like, we didn't get a lot of weirdness, a lot of creepiness during the book. But towards the end, it definitely picks up, and it's a pretty quick read. And overall, I do recommend it, though. I do think it's a pretty good book, and I would recommend it. But just keep in mind that like a lot of the creepiness doesn't really happen till you get right to the end. But I mean, if you're looking for a fun read, great characters and stuff, this is definitely the book for you. I would give it 3.5 pumpkins, but I don't feel like cutting one of these in half, so I think it just gets 4 out of 5 pumpkins. But yeah, if you guys are looking for something to read, definitely pick up Benighted from Valacourt Books. Check out Valacourt Books. The link for them is down in the description. And check out Paperbacks from Hell. Check out pretty much everything they put out. They put out a lot of fun stuff. And also, if you still need even more books to read, then you can get my books on Amazon down below, including my new book, Locked Coffins. Peace.